Hey traders, Raghee here. We're going to do a recap of September 17, FOMC day. So there's a couple rules around FOMC, and I'm going to walk you through that right now. First of all, I call it a caution day because anytime we're going to have a decision on rates and hear from the FOMC chair, I know that the market might not be necessarily in the mood to keep moving in a certain direction in front of that event. Now, there can be exceptions. We're always going to be on the lookout for them, but they're few and far between. So one modification that I make, actually two, is I lower the desired account risk for each trade. So there's a set percentage that I'm willing to risk of the account. Max per trade will lower that, and that very normally, organically, will reduce the position size. So that's one way of controlling risk. The other way of controlling risk is waiting for more moderate to conservative levels rather than aggressive, moderate, and conservative levels. So I'm going to be looking at the lower half of my range, and that too is going to help with risk. So those are two adjustments. Then we go by about 9:34, 9:33, a few minutes after the bell, scanning for symbols that could have clarity and follow through. Dow met that criteria: gold, crude oil, healthcare, regional banks, utilities, and Schwab. And that was really by 9:44, I've got a pretty good idea and a pretty beefy list of things I could be looking for. Now, one of the things I teach my traders, and sometimes I can fall short on this too, is it can get really easy continuing to filter and look for potential setups, when in reality, we always want to go back and return to what we like to begin with. And if something has changed in the structure, it's no longer a trend, it's gone into chop, it's broken the previous session close, any of those criteria, I'll eliminate the trade from contention. I'm going to walk you through gold and KRE from this list, but as I'm walking through the list, I want to just remind everybody, it was a caution day. I was being really conservative, maybe too conservative. Admittedly, some of our traders took these trades, but these were very good setups that for any number of reasons, I just decided to pass on or in fact missed. So we're going to talk about those here today. First up, we're going to go through KRE. Now, KRE was something we recognized as early as 9:37 this morning, and one of the reasons it was on the radar is that because on the 5-minute chart, this had early sign of a trend, it was trading above the previous session close, or what I like to call the line in the sand. It was trading above this. I want to be looking for long setups only, especially in a bullish environment. And then remember what I was talking about regarding aggressive, moderate, and conservative triggers. When I have my mean reversion, and you can see the wave right here, the green line of the wave, you can see the yellow line of the wave, as well as the red line of the wave. This is a zone for mean reversion. So when price sinks down to this level, what I'm looking to do is buy calls in the KRE, the regional banks, at the money. So this would be, say, a 64 or 63 strike. And the moderate would be the middle line and the bottom line. And you can see we hit both of those today. So if I'm going to forego the aggro because of this aggressive environment, and I'll choose to go with the moderate or the conservative, you can see both were reached. Now, this one, I'm going to talk about why I missed some trades. I was looking at some other things. We were answering some questions. I know you can't touch all the water, but I simply missed this one because we were looking at other things and we just did not circle back and set up these trades. So a few ways to fix this. If you like a trend and you like the structure of the market and you want to play the mean reversion, set up some alerts. So for me, I'll set the trade up. I'll put the levels from which I want to buy calls and KRE from, and that way everyone's on the same page. And in our room, if we never call audibles, I'm always going to type out what I'm looking for, and in reality, I could have done that here. So I think it's really important for me to basically critique myself in these videos and talk about what I could have done better. So this one just would have been set the darn trade up, Rog, and let everyone decide for themselves how they want to get in, and then emphasize we want to focus on that moderate level or that conservative level. And you can see here, really nice follow through right into the resistance of the hourly price movement range. And that's just, really a gorgeous setup. The other trade, and mostly on this one, I decided to pass because on this trade, what I was curious about is As I get closer and closer to 10:30, I want to shift gears and look at swing trades. This morning we have 3 open swing trades, and as of the close, we have 4 open swing trades right now. So if I don't have a hard cutoff for day trading, all of a sudden 2 hours can go by and I haven't done my job and grabbed some swing trades. So it's really important for me to have that cutoff unless we've got some gorgeous trends, in which case we can stick with it a little longer. If not, I never want to overstay my welcome on the short term. I want to make sure I shift. This case, I'm going to walk you through another setup. This was, unlike the mean reversion of the previous trade, this particular trade was just a classic Darvis support level. You can see the Darvis level that organized right in here. And I focus on the lower eighth of the level. So the zone that you're looking at would basically be between here and here. That's the Darvis zone. And the actual Darvis was confirmed during the 10 o'clock candle. So this one was really just quick, more so than it was a miss. We traded down into that lower eighth during the very candle that organized the Darvis, and this would have been GLD calls or long GC futures or long MGC futures. It followed through nicely to the other end of the Darvis, and just continued to climb higher and test Darvis along the way. Not much to not like about a day like this. On FOMC, I'm really going to have an emphasis of making sure that I'm going to start to wind down my trades between 12 and 1:55 Eastern, because at 2 p.m. we have Powell. Well, actually, we have the rate statement, and then we have Powell, and it's really important to make sure we steer clear of all that volatility as we get to that pair, the rate statement and the press conference pair of hot zones. So those are the 2 trades that we mostly looked at today. We really didn't set anything up. Those were on the radar, and you can see here when we find names that we like a lot, and you can see they came right from those early morning scans, circle back to them, look for opportunities. And if on FOMC Wednesday you're flat as a pancake, as I was, that's A-okay. I wanted to at least follow through, show you some more setups. You can start to train your eyes to what we do in the Sector Secrets Mastery between 9:30 and 10:30 a.m. Eastern every morning. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. I answer them myself. Thanks for smashing the like button, and I'll see you in the next update.